Hello everyone, welcome back to Mukul Maurya World Vlog. Myself Kalyani Mahesh. As a part of Ramayana The Epic journey stories, yesterday we have seen Sita's Swayamvaram and today we are going to listen about the fifth story, Rama's Exile. Before going to the fifth story, if you are the new one to visit my channel, please like, share and subscribe. And if you want to know the before stories, go to the description box and click the link and you can listen and watch the stories. Now get into the story. Rama and Sita spent several happy years at Ayodhya after their marriage. One day the king Dasharatha thought, I was growing old. This kingdom needs someone strong and able to rule it. With his ministers and sage Vasishtha's permission, he decided to enthrone Rama. Back at Queen Kaikeyi's chamber, she was thrilled to hear about Rama's coronation, but this delight was short-lived. Mandara, the maid who attended Queen Kaikeyi, entered. "O foolish queen," mocked the hunchbacked woman. "If Rama is made king, your son Bharata will only be a subject of his and nothing more." When Kaikeyi heard this, she thought, "Indeed, what this woman is speaking is true. I must do something to prevent that from happening." Suddenly, she recalled the day when the king promised her 2 boons for saving his life. Without thinking, she went inside the sulking room or the Kop Bhavan to draw the king's attention towards her sorrow and unhappiness. The king rushed there when he heard about this. "My queen, tell me what is bothering you," he asked. Taking advantage of his kindness and knowing well that he would always keep his word, she said, "My lord, do you remember that many years ago when I saved your life you promised me 2 boons?" Dasharatha replied, "Yes, I do remember that, my dear queen. Tell me, what do you wish for? You shall have 2 boons now." Kaikeyi smiled cruelly and said, "My dear lord, my first wish is that my son Bharata should be crowned. My second wish is that Rama should be exiled for 14 years. At these words, Dasharatha was dumbstruck. Not believing at his ears first, he stood confused. Then, as if struck by thunder, he fell unconscious. When he woke up, seeing Kaikeyi still sitting there, he fell at her feet and begged her, "Please do not send my Rama away from me. I can't live without my Rama." But blinded by jealousy, Kaikeyi refused to listen to her husband's request. When Rama learnt of Kaikeyi's request, he simply smiled and bowed to her. "Mother, if that is what you truly wish, then it must be what I do my best for you. I shall set out for my exile right away," said Rama humbly. Even Kaikeyi was shocked at his behavior. Rama then took the blessings of his father and all 3 mothers and started preparing to leave. Sita insisted on coming along. Lakshmana too joined them, saying that he could not live without his elder brother and refused to hear otherwise. So, dressed as hermits, the 3 bade farewell to everyone, mounted a chariot and left for the forest. Everyone at the palace was sad. The king himself was heartbroken. When the people heard the news, they all flocked to the palace and wept bitterly as they watched the chariot leave. When they reached the bank of the river Ganga, Rama asked his faithful minister Sumatra, who was riding them there, to stop. "You must return to the kingdom and give them the news that we are safe and we will return after 14 years, said he. Sumatra left with a heavy heart and tears rolling down his face. On the banks of the Ganga they met Guha, the ruler of the region. He had been waiting with many of his servants there for them. "Lord, it would please us greatly if you would stay here with us and spend all your 14 years in my kingdom," said the chieftain. Rama smiled and said, "As much as I and my family would like to accept your offer, we cannot, for mother has requested me to spend 14 years dwelling in the forest and not in another kingdom. We are honored by your offer, but I must keep my promise." Thus saying, Rama, Sita and Lakshmana took leave of the chieftain. As they moved on, they needed a boat to cross the Ganga. So Rama called for a ferryman. The ferryman by the name of Kevata appeared. Before taking them there, Kevata asked Rama if he could be given the honor of washing Rama's feet first. Rama smilingly agreed. Kevata brought a basin full of water. He gently washed the feet of Rama with extreme devotion and love. After that, they all boarded the boat and Kevata took them across the mighty Ganga. Back in Ayodhya, King Dashratha was heartbroken after Rama's exile. Because of this, his health was badly affected. One day, as he lamented the absence of his favorite son, the memory of himself accidentally murdering a young boy suddenly dredged up. As a young prince, Dashratha was proud of his archery skills. He could shoot targets with his eyes closed by merely listening to the sounds they made. One day, when Dashratha was out of hunting, King Dashratha shot an arrow at a young boy thinking it was an animal, and he died instantly. The boy's parents were so devastated that they too decided to end their lives. But before they did so, they cursed Dashratha. You too shall die grieving for your beloved son just as we have grieved the death of ours. King Dashratha cried like a child that night. He understood that karma was playing its part at giving him what he had caused to someone else. Finally, one day, not being able to live without his beloved son Rama, he breathed his last. All of Ayodhya was surrounded by gloom and despair. Both Bharata and Shatrughna were saddened by this loss. They wanted to find Rama, for Rama was the true heir to the throne. Bharata went to his mother and asked her, "Mother, tell me where my elder brother Rama is. Now that father has left us, we need him here to lead and guide us as the king of Kosala." When Kaikeyi heard this, she started panicking and did not know what to say. Eventually, she had to tell him the truth. "Oh mother," cried Bharata, "how could you do such a thing? You drove father to his grave because of your greed and jealousy." Bharata refused to accept the throne. He set out immediately in search of his brothers and sister-in-law. When he found them, Bharata broke down. "Father is no more. My dear brothers, come back to the kingdom. Lord Rama, the throne belongs to you." Even though both Rama and Lakshmana were devastated to hear of their father's death, Rama said, "I have vowed to stay in exile for 14 years, my dear Bharata. You of all people know that I cannot break it." Bharata had to agree. But before he left, he asked Rama, "My lord, for the time that you are gone, may I place your crown on the throne to symbolize that the throne belongs to you. When your exile is complete, we shall gladly welcome you back to rule as our father and protector." Taking Rama's crown, he embraced his family and set off for Ayodhya. After that, Rama, Lakshmana and Sita left to visit some of the most famous sages of those times. When they reached Panchavati, they fell in love with the place. It was a beautiful place near the river Godavari, rich with the fragrant, luscious fruits and abundant water. Panchavati was so peaceful that the three decided to build a home for there. One day, a Rakshasi happened to pass by. She was Surpanaka, sister of the powerful ruler of Lanka, the 10-headed Ravana. All of a sudden, she heard voices. As she stopped to see who was there, she was struck by the glowing image of Rama and immediately fell in love with him. She magically transformed herself into a beautiful young woman and approached Rama. "The gods have blessed you with good looks. Surely you don't want to waste them on this ugly mortal. Come with me and be my husband, and you shall get all that you have ever wished for," said Shurpanaka. "Oh lovely lady, I am already married. Why don't you take Lakshmana, my younger brother, as your husband?" replied Rama. When the Rakshasi turned to Lakshman, he said, "My brother is far more valiant than I am. To him I am just a servant. If you marry me, even you shall become a servant. Why don't you become Rama's second wife instead?" Realizing that both Rama and Lakshman were joking, she became furious. She changed back to her original form and charged at Sita. "I shall kill you and eat you up, you ugly mortal." When the Rakshasi spoke these words, Lakshman saw that Sita was very frightened. He took out his dagger and cuts off Shurpanaka's nose. Screaming and yelling in pain, he sent her scurrying back in humiliation into the deep forest. Immediately she went to her two demon stepbrothers, Kara and Dushana, and told them about what had happened. They were furious to see their sister in that condition, so they set out with an army to avenge the crime. but they were no match for Rama and Lakshmana's strength. The whole army was wiped out. Shurpanaka was terrified when she saw her mighty brothers dead. She ran to her other stepbrother Ravana. Ravana was enraged when he saw his sister in such state. "What happened?" asked he. "Oh, mighty Ravana, I met this beautiful woman in Panchavati and I thought that only you, oh great king, would be worthy of having her as your wife. So I tried to take her. Yet two other men came and they cut off my nose. They have even destroyed the demon army and killed Kara and Dushana. Surely, since you are such a great king, you would not allow your sister to be humiliated in this way," taunted Shurpanaka. "Then I shall abduct Sita and have her as mine," resolved Ravana. So, this is all about Rama's exile, and tomorrow we will meet again with Sita's abduction. And if you are the first time to visit my channel, please do like, share and subscribe. And if you are interested to watch more Rama Sita stories, the Ramayana The Epic Journey, go to the description box and click the link and go to the playlist. Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. Thanks for watching.